Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everyone.
We've got a guest.
We have
Cat.
This is Edgar.
Well, here we are. Another day, another cat.
Another cat. So the story is, the Fletcher family are cat whisperers of sorts. I've always lived in a house that's always had at least 3 cats in it. When I was growing up, we had Beano, Sifa and Binks.
Yeah.
And then I think Beano was the first to go. She was about 16, 17. Sifa went when she was 19 and Binks went when he was like 18. So Beano and Sifa went, then we just had Binks, but then we got Hiccup and Peanut, who are still at my parents' house. But over the years we've had stray cats or other people's cats come into our garden and end up living with us. We had a cat called Sid, who was someone else's cat. There were missing posters up for him because he was in our garden and in our house all the time. So we called up the owner and they came and collected him, and 2 days later he was back in our garden, so we called up again and she never came back for him. Like, we used to watch her walk her dog.
I remember this.
We used to watch her walk her dog, cross over when she got to our house and like avoid our house. So anyway, this cat turned up in my parents' garden just before lockdown. And he was really dirty, no collar, like scratches up his nose and on his ears. So they thought he was a stray. So then when their local vet reopened again, they took him to the vets via like social distancing and stuff. Took him to the vets and they were told that he was definitely a stray. And my parents thought he was like old. They thought he was like at least 12, 13 because just because of the way he is. Turns out they think he's about 18 months. So he's like still a kitten essentially, a very young cat. So they've had him microchipped and all that jazz, but the problem is that my mum's already got 2 cats, Hiccup and Peanut, who hate him. Hate him. So he could never go in the house for too long because the other cats would beat him up or he'd beat them up. So here he is.
And there he goes.
And there he goes. So we've ended up with him and we're going to try him out. Today's the first day that he's got here, so we're going to see if he settles, see how he is, see how he does. But he seems alright. He's gone through a series of different names before we settled on Edgar, but we think he looks like a butler. Yeah. Because he's got like his little like white shirt.
Yeah.
And he's got white paws as well. Looks like he's got his little socks on.
Where's Edgar from?
Well, I decided the other day to watch The Aristocats because it's one of my favourite movies and I forgot how much I loved it. Like, I put it on and it just makes me laugh. It just makes me giggle so much. But the butler in that is called Edgar.
So we settled for Edgar.
So I think we've settled on Edgar.
Well, have you got any announcements other than the cat?
Edgar? I don't think so.
Last night you did your...
Last night, oh my god, yes, last night we did a fundraiser for the NAACP. We did a Harry Potter quiz, and I put in the thing again, like, set myself a low bar, $500. We raised $10,000 for NAACP.
That was so good.
Ridiculous. Any announcements?
No announcements from me, really. No announcements. I thought, because Edgar's here today, I thought it'd be a nice little topic, a nice little reminiscent topic of getting your pet for the first time. Yeah. Because everyone has those stories where they get the, like, I think back to when I got Rosie, I would have been about 4, and I do remember we went to like the kennels, I guess, and we picked her up, and she was a puppy. She was so tiny, and I remember her like coming home and just running about, and I remember she was trying to jump up on the sofa, but she couldn't because it was too big. She was too small. Yeah, she was too small. Obviously I was only 4, so that's all I really remember. But those are like the vivid moments of like her in the car and us being really excited, like the kids, like passing her around, and then also getting home and her just running about, and then trying to jump up on the sofa and not being able to. Yeah.
I remember getting Binks. I had a cat called Binks, who only died a couple of years ago. He was 18 when he died. Named after Thackeray Binks, the black cat in Hocus Pocus, of course. I came out of my ballet class when I was 5, and my mum used to have this big, like, Mary Poppins carpet bag. It was literally a carpet bag, and I remember it getting in the car and my brother being there looking like really mischievous. and this bag being on, like, in the car seat between us. And Mum was like, oh, something's appeared in the bag. You've got to open the bag. And I think it's for you. It's the magic bag. I think it's for you. So I opened it, and I just remember Binks's head just popping out, like, looking around.
Did you cry?
I don't think I did. I think I was, like, really excited. Like, I couldn't believe that I'd just been given a cat.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. But he was like, he hated men.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't really like anyone at the best of times, but he just specifically really hated my dad and my granddad.
Oh.
Like, my granddad used to have the rule, 3 strokes and you're out.
Yeah.
So he'd stroke him once, and he'd like, I'll allow it. Stroke him a second time, and you'd see him like, that's too far. And you go over the 3rd stroke, and he'd be like, he'd bite you.
Yeah, I remember getting Buster for the first time, and Buster was about, when we got him, just under a year. So he was fully grown, but he had that sort of puppy energy.
Hey, you.
Yay!
Ooh.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah, we brought Buster into the house, and he went crazy. Like, he, like, we let him, like, sort of, he was like on the lead, and we let him off in the lead in the house, and he went upstairs. You could hear him go into every room, and he'd run back down, and he'd like jump, because he was a big dog, and he could like jump high and stuff. He'd just like jump, like if we were I was on the sofa, he'd just run at me and just jump on top of me, and then just run off again. Like, he just did that for about 20 minutes. And my mum was like, what have I done? She's like, I've got this crazy, crazy dog. You'll fall off.
You are going to fall off. Edgar, come here.
It's alright. But yeah, my mum was like, what have I done? This dog is absolutely crazy. But he turned out to be alright. He was just really, really happy.
Nowhere near as crazy as Rosie.
Yeah,
it was Rosie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It jumped through the window.
Yeah.
I remember coming home from school one day, and we used to have a Samoyed. And it was like she'd just gone on a frenzy.
Yeah.
Like, everything was knocked over. Like, she'd jumped on my mum and dad's bed and like shredded the bed sheets. She'd just gone absolutely mad. Yeah, it was like she'd just gone crazy, and she was just sat in the middle of it all, and we got home like calm as anything. We were like, what did you do?
Yeah.
What happened? There was like everything, like picture frames falling off the walls, and like all the ornaments knocked over, like couch cushions on the floor, my parents' bedroom like a complete mess.
Yeah.
It was like she'd just had a mad half hour whilst we were out.
Yeah. It reminds me of that like viral video when the owner comes in. I think he's got like 3 dogs, and there's like the bins have been like and like they're all ripped up or whatever. There's food everywhere, and he's like out with his phone. He's filming his dogs going like, Milo, was this you? And it's like really like guilty looking dog, and then like there's another one, like, another dog who doesn't seem that bothered. He's like, well, I think it's, say Buster. He's like, I think it's Buster, and he like turns to Buster, and he's got like the bin lid on his neck. And he's like, it feels really guilty. So also he put his head in the bin and got his head stuck on the bin lid. I'll have to try to find that video. If I find it, here it is. 5 o'clock after a long day studying. That's what I come home to. Trash has been gone through. It's my fault. I left it, or I left it kind of full. So my question is, who did it? Who's the culprit? We got a couple options. Let's see. We got Gid, and we got Zena. What about Tank? I wonder if Tank had anything to do with it. Tank, do you know about the trash? Do you know anything about the trash, Tank? Because I don't know who could have done something like that. I mean, you're the adult, you're in charge, and yet somehow the trash got into you. Can you tell me what happened? Do you know how this happened, Tank? I don't know how it happened. I'm confused. This reminds me of that joke. I think it's Michael McIntyre about cats. How like elegant, and just how like feline and just slick. But he said that they're all elegant until they've got to lick their neck. So it's all like very elegant, and then they start licking the neck. It's like it goes out the window. Well, that's that.
Oh, there we go.
Kitty cat.
We've got a cat. I'm just gonna see how it goes. See if he settles in. See if he likes us.
I think he's pretty settled.
I think I think he'll be all right somehow. But yeah, I signed up to every rehoming site there is: Battersea, Mayhew, Cat Protection, Celia Hammond. Like, I signed up to all of them yesterday because I just think it's time that we got a cat.
Yeah.
And then Mum was like, why don't you just have this cat that we've got? My dad built him like a little shelter outside, like a proper little like house, because they can't have him in the house with the other cats, especially at night time when they can't like keep an eye on the situation. So my mum was like, why didn't you just have this stray cat that we've ended up with?
And here he is.
I think he's gonna be fine. It reminds me of Annie. It was just like, I think I'm gonna like it here. So that's what he's like. I feel like you're not as used to cats as you are dogs.
No, not really. The things with cats is that you don't know if they're going to bite you or lash out. With a dog, I always feel like it's pretty telegraphed. Because like, and you're like, okay, stay away from that dog. But with a cat, it can be like, just da 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 da, like stroke, 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 and then it can just like scratch you.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that's that.
There we go.
There's a cat in the house. Well, goodbye everyone.
Bye everyone.
Be safe out there. Don't.
It's got to be a cat related one, right? Don't.
Yeah, got to be cat related. Don't throw a cucumber on the floor if you've got a cat.
Oh yeah, they're really scared of him.
So don't throw a cucumber on the floor if you've got a cat.
They will not like it.
Right, bye everyone.
Bye.